Okay, so we think we're getting to the end here. Just waiting for people to talk to each other. Oh, look, a vendor.
They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. I just ran.
Easy. You're here now. Where did they come from?
Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing?
Whatever it takes to show Paradis they're in charge.
What's the point of exploring if you just want to plant your flag everywhere?
Everything at the Emporium all right. How did you escape? Didn't sign up for the invasion, did you? How did you escape?
I took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown. They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Ballarok.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help.
You've done enough. You can thank me in your next book. How does that sound?
On the very first page.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Ballarok yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you.
Uh-oh.
I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
Can't hurt but look. Can't hurt to look. So, potions. Sure, why not? Hey, what happened to all my money? Didn't I have like 99,000 or something like that? What did I need for upgrades? Was it the Blackwood brand? This stuff? Which ones did I need? Selling stuff. Oh, look at all the gems we can sell. So, weapons. Don't need any of these. Herb symbol stuff. Okay. $90,000 if I buy 50 of them. Yeah, I know I would need branches. The question is how many.
Snow? Why is there snow here?
That's gotta be Ringgrim's work. I heard she made it snow in Shatterscarp.
Wow. But why snow?
I don't know why snow. So the actual map. Oh, so we lost all knowledge of the map? Is that what's going on here? That's what it sure looks like.
A familiar face. We meet again, Envoy. And you, Yardsley. You're always a prodigious and welcome sight.
Oh, yes. Always a pleasure to see you, too.
Paradis burns, thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
How I killed Lodwin at Mount Forja. What are you doing here? Here to watch us mortals kill each other? Have you been keeping, well, despite all that?
I can't complain. Being nearly omnipotent is pleasing. Sadly, the other archmages remain tedious.
The other Archmagi? Tedious? But think of what you could learn from them.
Give it a few centuries. You'll think differently. It's strange. A part of me thought you adherents might be wise enough to leave Paradis alone. But here it stands burning, while Adir storms its gates. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions.
I freed Sepidal. That is incredibly world-changing. I'm not sure I follow. Will you minimally change the world? A single drop of rain can cause a tsunami, can it not?
A tsunami inevitably rejoins the ocean as simple water. The analogy only really works if you're mortal. And I'm not.
Reach Sepidal. That is incredibly world-changing.
Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice.
Oh, my resolve sucks. I'm certain I did. I don't think I have. The decision I made was what felt correct in the moment. I'm certain I did.
Ah, that mortal zeal. Always so fun. We will see if you're correct. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire.
It ends on a long map after some excellent food. I hope we meet again in better circumstances. With luck, it'll end with certain other parties in the fire.
I prefer ice, personally. But to each their own. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Yes, of course. I look forward to working with you.
Okay. Oops. Doing here, Marius.
Giata, where have you been?
Where haven't I been? I journeyed to the heart of the living lands, where time held its breath, and dreams had more substance than reality.
May I see it?
Not if you value your life.
Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
No, she didn't.
How is Emerald Stair? More importantly, how are you?
Thriving on both counts, I'm happy to report. My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So I gathered the flock.
Good thinking. Nice to see you, Elia. I'd hate for you to endanger your livestock on our behalf. Please keep the undead far, far away from battle. Good thinking.
Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. Emerald Stair is healing, believe it or not. Once this is over, our crops will flourish like never before.
Dreamskirts is behind us, thankfully. Now we just need to keep the living lands from descending into war.
Easier said than done, I suppose. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Thank you, Elia. My compliments to the flock, as always.
Enjoy the time with your flock, dearie. Try to keep them out of the other camps.
We know you. Did you help us? We must have seen you in a dream. We smell steel. Should we run? Or could we stay here and tend?
Do you think it's over? We really won't see any more dream thralls?
We see clearly now. The clouds part and the sun shines. Was this you?
It was.
Adelaro. Does he fight for us? Why do we think of this name?
Well,
Fidelio sang for us. We must help him.
Do you think it's over? You really want to see any more dream thralls?
sound like a dream thrall right now. Anyway.
How's Casagrada?
As prepared as he'll ever be.
Who knows? Maybe all this will make a hero out of him.
We don't need more heroes. We need everyone to come back alive.
I'll give you that. Just be ready. If anyone knows how to deal with those damned roots, it's us.
They won't reach us. I'll shoot as soon as I see the whites of their eyes.
I can do this. I have to do this.
Didn't this place Bunker Hill? Just asking for a friend. Oh, look, stuff.
If you're wounded, find a place to lie down. Someone will get to you before you bleed out. If I seem distracted, I apologize. I'm tending to the fallen, as you can see.
Let me know if you need anything. I don't suppose you've come across Inquisitor Lodwyn. Can the militia endure much longer? You know if you need anything.
Believe it or not, we have more than enough supplies. The Clavager knew this day might come. Unfortunately, my hands are full with the dying and the dead, and there's too many of both. If I don't get any sleep, I might be the next casualty.
Take a break. You're no good to anyone exhausted. Keep working. The living will thank you. The dead will understand. The wounded are a distraction. You should be out there fighting. Take a break.
I suppose I've earned a couple of winks. You look like you could use a few. The next time we see each other, I just hope the fighting's done.
Relaxation helps to clear the mind. Nothing else comes close.
Guess I should go to a camp, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we need for upgrade stuff. Not that it really matters at this point, though. I think. Yes. Giada.
So, here we are. The first and last battle for the living lands.
You know, I hope that's the last. Stay close to me and we'll get through this together. After what we've been through, this feels like a formality. Stay close to me.
If the Garden didn't kill us, I don't think anything can. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a small mess to tidy up.
We haven't finished business with the Steel Garrote. There's still a lawless island in need of discipline. I'm so tired of fighting over this damn pile of rocks. We have unfinished business.
I intend to send a message to the Steel Garrote, and it won't be subtle. Anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring, so let's be grateful for today. You've earned a little peace of mind.
We all have. I'll set up for one dreamless night under the stars. Get some rest. Try not to worry about the battle to come. We all have.
I think that's enough wool gathering for now. Besides, I need to tinker on the phantasmal focus. Make sure it's ready for war. Don't stay up too late.
Let's talk about the Battle for Paradise. I want to ask about you. That was enough for now. Battle for Paradise.
Go on then. I'm listening.
I wanted to ask you about you. Oh, never mind.
If I must.
Oh, we have companion points to spend.
We should take a moment to acknowledge what happened back there. You liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you made.
Trust Sapadal to do the right thing. Keeping Sapadal trapped wasn't good for the island. Someone needs to put pressure on the Endurance. Would you have done any differently? Trapped wasn't good for the island.
No doubt it would have gotten worse over time. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it?
I just make the better living lands. Probably squeeze them for as much power as I can get. To be honest, I haven't thought about it. I don't think about my relationship with Sapadal that way.
You're probably better off then. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Either way, this could not continue as I have. I have to imagine what an unstable living land looks like. Thank you so much for that foreboding premonition. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Eventually. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp.
For you, anything. One of these days I want to hear more about your adventures. We've been through a lot together, haven't we?
We're not finished yet. For that I'm grateful. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time.
Okay.
Not before I've done some reading.
There you are, Envoy. You ready for this?
Ready as I've ever been. I don't think one can be ready for a situation like this. I've been looking forward to this. This is just one more fight, Marius. We've done this 100 times.
Right. Just one more fight. Then another. Then another. Across the whole settlement. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out.
Right. This is just politics. We still have a lot to do here. I'll be happy when it's all over.
You said it, not me. Anyway, you should get some rest. Oh, if you need to rehearse any speeches or whatever, make sure you do it in front of someone else.
You want to hear my speeches?
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I'd just rather not. Talk to you later, Envoy.
Will you? Oh, I totally forgot about this stuff.
Marius,
Never
have
did
you
find
ever
that.
seen a ghost?
Missed out on some stuff. That's okay.
Once I saw a green spectral woman floating over a pile of decaying leaves. Big hair like her head was on fire. Then again, it might have been a hallucination from some bad toadcap tea I got from an old lady in the forest.
Oh, last time I took bad mushrooms, I thought our home had been infested by tiny Delengum. Turns out my ferns were shedding.
That is a fascinating story. I wonder if nature was trying to tell you something.
Nature usually tells us to stay out, but with fewer words, and we never listen.
Don't mind him. He tells that story at the Ballarrock to trick travelers into buying him around.
Right. Just because it never really happened doesn't mean it's any less true, you sock-a-sucked root weasel.
It never happened, so therefore it's no less true.
We separate you. Thank you for the story, Marius. I liked it very much.
Huh. At least someone here knows how to appreciate a little entertainment.
Okay, so trying to upgrade this thing. Oh, no, not that one. That one. So I need 5 petrified wood branches. What did I buy from here? Oh, I got 23 of these, so we can downgrade some of these. We needed petrified, right? Petrified. 3 petrified. didn't it? No. Break down stuff. Okay. So down these for the petrified. So there we go. Some more petrified and some wort. Advents wort. So we can just do upgrades. Blackwood branches. Cave coral and more blackwood. 14. Cave coral, need 3 of those. With branches. He was selling those, wasn't he?
The envoy. Is that you?
Nope.
Envoy.
Need stuff. So glass with branches. I think that might be enough. Can't fast travel? Since when? short 14 glasswood. Bought all this stuff, so oh well. Good enough, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, we have to upgrade these guys too. So
How does one become...
abilities, companions. Ugh, Kai. Really increases the amount of stun dealt by fire and ire. Dominal Spirit increases the health regeneration of many. He doesn't really matter here. Simply because he's going to be sitting on the sidelines. This doesn't matter for you. Mary's the same deal. Yada. So, purification. Essence pressure. Enemies within range of purification are interrupted and knocked back. Essence shielding. Increases damage reduction of allies by 20% for 15 seconds. It's not bad. Barrier. Barrier ends allies healed in proportion to the amount of temporary health remaining. Impenetrable. While barrier is active, Yada cannot be hit and knocks melee attackers back. This one. Allies empowered by acceleration use their speed to gain 15% damage reduction. Or this one, Reconstruction. Reconstruction increases the healing granted to allies below 20%. Reconstruction grants temporary health to allies that are already at max. Reconstruction revives incapacitated allies when Giada kills an enemy. We don't even have this. Oh yeah, we do. Temporary hit health to allies that are already at maximum health. Yes, please. And then Yahtzee. What's this one do? So last one. Where's Rise and Strike? Increases the maximum range of missiles from the missile battery. This one increases the size of the blast caused by explosion. Fire aspect essence explosion deals fire accumulation to hit enemies. Scrappy casting reduces the cooldown for essence explosion by 33%. Delay motion intensifies its slowing effect on enemies. Delay motion periodically deals frost accumulation to afflicted enemies. Freeze them that way, but I only have one cold spell. This one increases stun dealt to enemies hit by the blast. Affliction blast. Blast has a 5% chance to inflict frozen, ignited, or shocked. Let's do the stun, because that's what we do too. By we, I mean Gimpy. Okay, good enough.
become a scout?
Why? You looking to pick up the craft?
Oh, no. Unfortunately, I would only be a useful guide in some godless ruins, and I don't know that I'm quite ready to share yet. No, I just wonder how you ended up guiding clueless kids across the lands.
Solace taught me a lot, but I picked up most of my skills just surviving on my own. Spent a lot of time just trying to not be in Solace. Once I left, it just seemed like the right thing to do. A lot of people need help to survive out here.
You didn't want to do anything else? Have any other dreams?
What else would I do? I'm not really good at anything else.
It? That's it. Okay, let's get out of here. Yes. Okay, so what we're supposed to do next.
Envoy? Is it really you?
Nope.
Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Makutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
I met the god of the living lands and freed them. I discharged my duty to the Emperor. I ended the Dream Scourge. Whatever I say, you won't believe it. Forget the Dream Scourge. Why does it look like you're at war?
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen.
Yes, you've said that. Are we supposed to just take you at your word?
It was Ludwine who called for the attack. She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city shortly after you beat her to the garden.
I distinctly remember killing Ludwig on top of Mount Forgia.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Damn right, I thought I killed her for good. She's going to try and kill me again, isn't she?
Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
Why can't we talk about it here?
It is not, I think, impossible.
Do we know the state of the city? What's the status of the opposition? What are your plans for counterattack? What does Ludwig have to achieve here?
The lawful settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodican state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement.
It's unrealistic to assume these people will roll over and surrender. Fat fucking chance of that.
Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn you to her side. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodica, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the Queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
Do we know the state of the city? What's the status of the opposition? What are your plans for counterattack? Why did Ludwig decide to attack Paradise now?
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Ludwig in the tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence.
And as a point, Ambassador. Now, if we can assign blame when this dust settles. She's got a point.
Ludwig's the muscle. I'm merely the personality. What was I supposed to do? Frown her into submission?
What good are you as a diplomat if you can't even keep your own beast under control?
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Ludwig's vision for the Living Lands.
It's more than that, isn't it? The foundation of Adir are crumbling.
That's what Ludwig thinks. Adir doesn't revere Wodica as fervently as it once did. Worship of Mogrin, Berith, even Aethys has gained a foothold. Many no longer trust that the gods are listening. Some question whether they guide the wheel at all. The Empire lost its foothold in the Eastern Reach. The well-bred avoid child-rearing in pursuit of cosmopolitan pleasures. The Church is weak against them. In a world of soul against soul, Ludwig believes we have lost ours. The Empire must change, or it will die.
She's not the only one who feels that way. The Empire must change, but not like this. You had to guess at what she'd do if this is what she thinks.
How could I know what paths her convictions would take her down? You and I both know she is not the only one in the Empire who feels this way. Even the Emperor can see, in some sense, that she's right. Why else would we be here?
You'd think the Living Lands would stabilize under Adiran rule. Did the Stilgarrote explore any alternatives before deciding to attack? Adir could set a new standard for greatness in the Living Lands. Is this what the Emperor wants?
The Inquisitor answers only to Wodica. In attacking Paradise, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires.
She would stabilize under Adiran rule.
Oh, I can't wait to see how you weasel out of this one.
I know it will. We are leading by example, returning order and dignity to Paradise in the wake of the Clavager's death. We will do the same to the frontier, given the chance.
Where was order and dignity when the Steel Garrote attacked my home?
My administration had nothing to do with that, as I know you know. Adiran rule and rule by the Steel Garrote would be markedly different beasts.
Spoken like a fucking diplomat. Splitting hairs when it all comes from the same head.
Order and dignity. That's what you think we're missing? Bastards! All of you!
You will take it all, whether the chance is given to you or not.
I'm going to explore any alternatives before deciding to attack.
What passes between Ludwine and her men, or between Ludwine and the Emperor, for that matter, is not my affair. But if I had to guess, this was the alternative.
Your empire is doing what it does best. Stamping out dissent until surrender is the only option.
Your republics are hardly any different. Their intentions in the Deadfire were certainly not pure.
As you say, we left the republics for a reason.
You could set a new standard for greatness in the Living Lands.
Ludwine agrees. Our success would model the order and dignity of the Steel Garrote, for whatever that's worth.
You can say what you want, but you're still trying to subjugate us.
You think I'll ignore what I've seen with my own eyes? The Empire has brought us nothing but chaos and suffering.
When I think dignity, I think of the people who attacked Fior Messiverno unprovoked.
Now for this, what happens next?
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here.
I know what I like to do. What would becoming a colony entail? I'm not familiar with the Griffom. How does that work? I have another idea. How about a united Living Lands? Why are you and I involved in this decision, Hilgard? I already know what I'm fighting for. Ludwin's vision for... No. Why are you and I involved in this decision?
That's what I would like to know.
You have seen more of this land, and met more of its people than any of us. Your opinion is informed. You were empowered by the Emperor himself to investigate an impossible problem. And against the odds, you solved it. And as far as we know, you are the last godlike in the world, and the favored child of a mysterious god. And in our dealings together, I found you to be a person of substance and conviction. But mostly, it's because you're Adiran, so I trust you. And these fine people here are going to do whatever they like if they don't agree with you anyway.
Like to do when you become a colony entail? Becoming a colony entail?
The Living Lands would become an extension of the Adiran Empire in leadership and law. Soldiers bearing the flag of Adir would be garrisoned in every town. They would be paid in Adiran shelling and speak only the Adiran language. Their roads would be smooth Adiran roads. Their medicine would be hygienic Adiran medicine. And their weapons would be efficient Adiran weapons. Our customs would become their customs. Our strengths would become their strengths. Our emperor would become their emperor. Turned toward a common purpose. No one, not Rawatai, not the Valian republics, not even a rogue god, would dare attack the Living Lands. This island would be safe for the first time in its history, and safe it would remain.
I assume the assembled leaders have thoughts.
The traditions of Solus are what give my wardens their strength. Without them, we would buckle under the weight of the tusks. I would sooner walk my people into the acid sea than trust an Adiran to hold me up.
What need does Thirdborn have for the protections of Adiran soldiers? We have cannons, cliffs, and wills forged in the storms of Rawatai. And should Rawatai come for us, we will rain hellfire down on their heads. Your Adirans could do no better.
Under Adiran rule, your countrymen would strip my people of everything that makes them unique, all in the name of spiritual hygiene. I cannot betray them like that.
Do you think?
He would suppress our culture before it's had a chance to grow. Everything my people cultivated would be reduced to a footnote. If you have any love for this land, do not allow him to overwrite our history.
Rawatai built its empire from colonies like this. Many have become centers of culture and prosperity, backed by the protection of a strong navy. Of course, it can take decades to get there. And this road isn't an easy one. But Adir won't be the only empire eyeing this place. A formal agreement now could protect us from something worse later.
It shall be peaceful in that all dissenters will be silenced. So there's that.
The Living Lands is a lot of things, but it will never be Adir, no matter how hard Adir wants it to be. Adir should turn back now and save everyone a bunch of Blessed Day trouble.
Stop it all.
The Adder's promise. Clip our feathers as we find our wings. The deed binds as the wire binds. To drown us, why were we set free?
How about other possibilities?
Of course.
I know what I like to do. I'm not familiar with Griffin, blah, blah, blah. I have another idea. How about a united Living Lands?
Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Thoughts?
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you. I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting, if you are.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? When my people return to Fjord, we could create such miracles of animancy, the Living Lands would become the breadbasket of the world.
Companions?
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Stop.
Rest into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
Of course.
You know what I'd like to do? I'm not familiar with griftdom. How does that work?
The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
It would be our grave.
Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But I suspect he would choose you. Only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe that was Ludwig. But you were born to rule here. Quite literally.
I was hoping you'd say that.
You're the obvious choice. There is no Adiran who knows this place better than you.
I assume these some of the leaders have thoughts.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil in peace.
A grave room could work, so long as trade keeps moving through the Scarp and you're willing to serve as our go-between envoy. And we'll have cannons enough to deter the Adirans from trying anything stupid.
With the Dream Scourge ended, my people can soon return to Fior. If a renewed animancy could easily feed the island, I suppose we could send Adir what's left. But when lean times come, who will we feed first? Ourselves or the Empire?
Hey, Bad, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. What do you think?
Tribute, he says. Taxes. Soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Zappadon?
Subtle, pernicious, touch the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
I've heard of
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradise burns.
It'd be best if the Living Lands became an official colony of Adir. Nope. I think we should attempt to griff them. Nope. I believe we should fight for a united Living Lands. The leaders of Living Lands will vote, and I will accept what they decide.
Envoy, be reasonable. This is not a good idea.
Of course it is.
Give these people an ounce of agency, and there's no telling what they'll do.
As it should be. Nevertheless, it's what must be done.
Wodaka, have mercy on my soul. Well, what will the illustrious leaders of the Living Lands decide?
So this is what I want. I would prefer we keep to ourselves as we have, but if it will take all of us to repel your people, a united Living Lands it is.
Power.
The Living Lands is going to need trade partners if we're gonna make it out here. I support a grave rum.
Standing tall together, the Living Lands could be the envy of the world. I am for a united living lands.
Okay.
Well, it's hardly unanimous, but the majority shall rule. This shall be a united living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradise, and eventually the island.
Then I will meet Ludwig on the battlefield. Let no man stand who tries to stop me. I'll defend Paradise with my life, even if it means the wheel. I will meet Ludwig on the battlefield. Let no man stand who tries to stop me.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwig must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradise militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you for trusting me.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza.
Understood.
May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
Ah, finally. Okay, we have to go back to our camp and talk to Giada about how to kill what's-her-face. But we got a break coming up. So, gonna beat Veronica to the punch. Gonna get up, stretch my legs, get some water, see what Mrs. Gimpy and Rocket are up to. I'll be back in a few minutes, and it looks like we're gonna be finishing this relatively soon. So, anyway, be back shortly. Enjoy the dog video.